Okay, we will be measuring range of motion with a goniometer. First, we will start with wrist flexion. So the client will be seated with the forearm in mid position, with the hand and forearm resting on the table along the ulnar border. The axis placement will be the lateral aspect of the wrist. The stationary arm will be parallel to the radius. The moving arm will be parallel to the metacarpal of the index finger. Now the patient will flex their wrist. And the measurement is 70. Next, we will do wrist extension. Again, the client will be seated with the forearm in mid position, with the hand and forearm resting on the table along the ulnar border, and the fingers should be slightly flexed. The axis placement will be on the lateral aspect of the wrist. The stationary arm is parallel to the radius, here, and the movable arm is parallel to the metacarpal of the index finger, right here. And now the patient will extend their wrist. And the measurement is 60 degrees. Okay, now we are going to do wrist radial deviation. So the client will be seated at the table with their forearm pronated and the palm rested on the table. The axis placement will be on the dorsal side of the wrist. The stationary arm will be at the center of the forearm. The movable arm will be parallel with the third metacarpal. And now the patient will do radial deviation. And the measurement is 10. Now we will do wrist ulnar deviation. Again, the client is seated at the table with the forearm pronated, and the axis placement is on the dorsal side of the wrist. The stationary arm is along the forearm, and the movable arm is parallel with the third metacarpal. And now the patient will do ulnar deviation. And the measurement is 30 degrees. Now we will do metacarpophalangeal flexion. So the client will be seated at the table with the forearm in mid position, with the hand and palm rested on the table along the ulnar border. The axis will be centered on top of the middle of the MP joint. The stationary bar will be on top of the metacarpals, and the movable arm will be on top of the proximal phalanx. And now the patient will make a fist. And the measurement is 60 degrees.